Hey there, today we're going to go over some winter driving tips. We had talked about just general winter survival tips a little while ago, and we're going to cover winter driving tips today. Hey, it's Justin Heminger with Apex Realty Group at Real Broker here in Fairbanks. We've been helping folks buy and sell real estate for over 10 years. So if you ever have any questions about buying and selling real estate, drop them in the comments below. You can also reach out to us at 907-885-0316. So let's get into it. So one of the first things that you can do to get ready to drive in the winter is just to start your truck or start your vehicle. Starting your vehicle 20 minutes or so before you leave, though it seems like you're going to be wasting a lot of gas, and you are going to be using some gas when you do this, just doing that alone can set you up for some pretty good success. Setting that defroster to defrost your front windshield, your rear windshield, that's going to put you in such a great situation. One, you're going to be getting into a nice warm vehicle. Two, you're going to be able to see out of your front windshield and your back windshield too. Do that, your car's going to run a little bit better, it's going to run a little smoother, and you're going to be able to drive just that much better. Number two, and this is something that I didn't think about until after I'd already owned one, is to get a push broom. So this one sounds a little bit weird, but instead of buying a little scraper brush at the gas station or at Walmart, Costco, wherever you may get one, the absolute best thing that you can get is a push broom. It sounds like this is a crazy thing, but buy yourself an actual, like, legit push broom from a hardware store, because these things are going to save you so much time. You can put gloves on, get your coat on, go out there and brush off your entire vehicle like seconds, rather than having to reach across with your whole body trying to reach across your windshield. Use a push broom. It takes just a second. I can go out there and brush off my vehicle, my wife's truck, and be done with it in just a few seconds. So starting your vehicle ahead of time before you leave and using a push broom, two huge things that are going to save you time. Thinking about moving to Fairbanks? Well, click on the link below for my free relocation guide, where I talk about top schools, top neighborhoods, and so much more. So another thing that you can do, and this is something I recommend doing definitely before winter really hits, is making sure that you've got the right tires or the right wheels for your vehicle. One thing that you'll see a lot are studded tires or Blizzaks. Blizzaks aren't studded tires. They're a certain kind of winter tire that you can have that has special grooves cut into the tread that make them very, very good at keeping traction. I've had them on a couple of my vehicles up here, and they're awesome. They're really cool. Don't want to keep them on year round, because the warmer weather, when the snow's gone, you'll work through the tread a lot faster during the warmer weather. And when it comes to studded tires, certain locations or certain areas around Alaska will have certain regulations about the time of year that you can have them on. Most of the time it's around May 1st to October 1st or maybe September 1st, that you can't have studded tires because it will do damage to the roads. But they absolutely help with maintaining traction on the road for starting and stopping. Stopping is the one that most people have trouble with. Those studded tires, Blizzaks, can absolutely help out with that. One thing to keep in mind is that a good all-terrain tire is absolutely going to work for you too, so check those out too. One other thing that you can do when it comes to winter driving is keep in mind, while the speed limit may say 55 or 60 or 65, that doesn't mean that's a speed limit. That's the most you should probably be going. You don't have to be breaking land speed records in order to get to your destination. And I covered this in the Winter Pro Tips video, but if you leave a little bit early, give yourself plenty of time to arrive alive, you won't have any issues. No one's gonna get bent out of shape about you arriving a little bit early to your appointment. But if you try to push your luck by driving a little bit faster to catch up with time because you left late, ending up in a ditch is gonna make you late no matter what you do. So take your foot off the speedometer or the accelerator a little bit, give yourself a little bit of extra time, and arrive alive. It's gonna save you much more time. One of the other preventative maintenance things that you can do is, and you'll see this when you get here, a lot of people ask questions, are all the vehicles electric? What's the deal with having the plugs for plugging in my vehicle? Well, this isn't because our vehicles are electric, it's because we've got battery heaters, oil pan heaters, engine block heaters on all of our vehicles. It's a way that we can winterize our vehicles ahead of time, so that way when we try to start them, they start in 40 below. We've been lucky for this year, we haven't had too many 40 below days. In years past, at extended 40 below, trying to start your vehicle when it hasn't been plugged in, or those block heaters, oil pan heaters, and battery heaters have not been used, it gets kind of hard. And having a frozen vehicle, especially if you're you're working a job where you need to respond somewhere at the drop of a hat in the middle of the night, having your vehicle plugged in and heated up, so to speak, is absolutely essential. Because if you need to respond, you got to be on post at the drop of a hat, you got to be at Eielson Air Force Base right now, then you need to have your vehicle plugged in so that your oil pan, engine block, and battery are all heated up and you can respond quickly. This last one is something that inevitably everyone is going to experience. You are going to skid at some point. You're going to go around a curve a little bit too fast. Whether you drive a little bit under the speed limit or not, it's going to happen. Just prepare yourself, get in the right mindset that you're going to lose control at some point. You're going to do everything right, but it's still going to happen. So reach that moment of clarity right now. Take a deep breath. You're going to skid out of control at some point, whether it's in your neighborhood, on the Richardson Highway, in a parking lot. At some point, your tires are going to spin and you're going to lose a little bit of control. The thing to remember is take your foot off the accelerator, for one. Don't jam on the brake and turn into the skid. So if you feel the back end start to turn to the right a little bit, turn your wheel to the right, just a little bit. You don't have to jerk the wheel. Like I said, don't panic. Just turn the wheel just a little bit and you'll feel your rear end start to correct a little bit and everything will be okay. It can be super scary, especially if there's some certain parts on the Richardson Highway where there's some big curves and you're going 50 plus miles an hour, and it can be frightening, but take a deep breath and you'll be okay. Just turn into the skid. It'll be all right. Another thing to keep in mind is that your headlights are not just so that you can see. This is something that I wish I would have known when I first started driving. I would have done it the very first time I got into a vehicle. Your headlights are also a signal to other drivers that you exist. This can be pretty tough sometimes because not every vehicle believes in having their headlights on, but you're never going to be wrong if your headlights are on. If every vehicle on the road can see you, then you're great. There are a lot of very light colored vehicles, and chances are really good that you're going to be driving someday in inclement weather. It's either going to be raining, it's going to be snowing, or it may not be snowing, but the wind's going to be blowing snow or blowing rain. And because you're driving a light colored vehicle, or it could just be dark or darker. So even though that you can see, other vehicles may not be able to see you. It takes 2 seconds to turn on your headlights and you will always be covered if other vehicles can see you. I can't count how many times I've gone to make a lane change and not seen the light colored vehicle behind me or the darker colored vehicle behind me because it's a little bit dark, and someone was like, "Whoa, I can see. I don't need to have my headlights on." It just takes a second and you can save somebody's life. So keep those things in mind. So remember, although winter driving can be sometimes hazardous or even challenging in Fairbanks, take a deep breath. You'll get through it. Stay a little prepared and you'll be okay. If you ever have any questions about living in Fairbanks in the winter, summer, spring, fall, anytime, give us a call, 907-885-0316. Reach us out or reach out to us on our webpage, fbxhomesearch.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.